The next item is Garrett Theological Seminary, found on page 253 in the pre-conference report. And so Vice President Scott Ostland, excuse me, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank Bishop Williamston and the entire Louisiana Conference for welcoming Garrett Seminary and generously extending your afternoon to hear a few brief words from me and from what's happening at Garrett. My name is Scott Ostland. I am a white male adult who uses he, him pronouns, and I'm one of the vice presidents at Garrett, and I bring greetings from our president, the Reverend Dr. Javier Vieira. I come to Louisiana from our campus in Evanston, Illinois, rooted in deep gratitude. The Louisiana Conference has been a gift to Garrett in so many ways over the years, whether it's through the students and candidates for ministry who have filled our physical and digital hallways, the churches and campus ministries who have partnered with us as we imagine what kind of new programs would meet the needs of the changing ministry landscape, or those individual leaders who have supported Garrett as student mentors, teachers, and even those like the Reverend Katie McKay Simpson, who serves faithfully on our board of trustees. At Garrett, we often say that our vision is for the thriving of the church and the healing of the world. But without these partnerships and without this kind of collaboration in Christ's ministry, our vision of healing and thriving would never make the impact that it has. Now, I'm happy to say that Garrett is in a time of deep health. We've been growing in enrollment for each of the last 5 years, and there's exciting new innovation happening at the seminary. But we've also changed a lot in recent years. Some of you know us well. You may even be one of our alums, but for those who wonder what we're about or who have less experience with us, I want to offer a quick snapshot into this moment in theological education. For many years, and like many other institutions throughout the country, Garrett's programs were largely residential, full-time, and focused on the development of congregational leaders with significant denominational support. Our programs told a particular story, that to become a good pastor or a good leader, you needed to extract yourself from the communities and contexts who formed you. Remove yourself from the relationships and the voices who helped you discern God's call. Separate yourself from the land and the dirt and the place that gave your ministry meaning. That is no longer Garrett's primary or only academic vision. While we still have residential students, the average seminary student is not training to become a practitioner. They are practitioners. And they're not going away to seminary in order to find a place where they are called. Many of them feel called to a place where they currently serve or where they originally heard God's voice on their life. Places like the Louisiana Conference. Lucky for us, this reality has been met by a commitment from our current faculty who desire to build programs and courses that combine local and contextual wisdom with scholarly learning. Courses that invite a student's unique ministry context into the room instead of asking them to put it off to the side while they study core texts. And as a global institution, this has allowed Garrett to lead the way in terms of imagining what a decolonial approach to U.S. theological education might be. An urgent task at this moment in our country during a time when hostility toward non-U.S. citizens is volatile and strong, and the door is shut to so many ministers applying for student visas. In fact, this very week we are launching our first cohort of African students who will study virtually throughout the year with Garrett to then join their colleagues once a year for 2 intensive courses taught in person by Garrett faculty, in community with Garrett faculty, staff, and students, but hosted on Africa University's campus in Mutare, Zimbabwe. Our first intensives begin next week, and as we embrace and learn from this new program, we're excited to see how developing a global contextual hub with ministry mentors from local congregations throughout the African continent will disrupt what has been a historic pattern of extracting African students and future African leaders from the continent of Africa in order to benefit U.S. communities. There are many ways that Garrett, as a seminary, is working to live into this new vision. And of course, the most meaningful shift has been that we now deliver essentially our entire curriculum fully online as well as in person. And we're also beginning to host contextual cohorts of community formation with students who share a home context while they study virtually, be that Louisiana or Zimbabwe. As we move toward our goal of being one of the most accessible seminaries throughout the United States, our faculty are exploring new entry points into theological learning outside of the container of degree programs. Two of those that you can learn more about by coming to see us at our table are the Laity Discernment Cohort, an opportunity for lay ministers and seekers who are feeling a call to ministry to take a single course for $200, a course that is fully transferable into another degree program. And for those who complete this program, they're guaranteed a 75% scholarship if they move on to a further degree program at Garrett, as well as the Garrett Collective, an online platform with individual theological education resources developed by Garrett faculty, as well as a collective of leaders and practitioners whose wisdom is often left off the syllabus of a traditional ministry classroom. These are just two examples of how Garrett is changing and how Garrett would love to invite you into mission with us. We are in a moment of major transition and disorientation, both in ministry and in higher education. For seminaries to meet this moment, we cannot remove our students from the places where they are being agents of transformation. Instead, a formational model must be rooted in place and grounded in partnerships with the church and the world. It is a gift to call the Louisiana Annual Conference a partner for Garrett Seminary, and we wish you discernment and wisdom throughout your conference. Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott.